Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Aaron Trevino here, and we have two terrific guests from down in San Antonio. We have JJ Henson and Heather Henson. They're with HHI Home Inspections. How y'all doing?
Good,
Hi,
good. How's it
how are
going?
you?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. I know I kind of said it before when we were speaking, but I've been pretty excited to have y'all on, considering you are the first home inspectors to come on the show.
Oh, you saved the best for last right now.
That's right. We've had I think 22 or 23 guests, and y'all are the first home inspectors. So it's great to see you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So for those of us who aren't really too familiar with you, kind of explain, just a little bit more about yourselves.
Well, I we're a home inspection here in San Antonio. We started off with just me, uh, back when she was reading me flashcards, unemployed, had nothing, about 11 years ago, and then started doing, you know, went through school, got my license with Champions, uh, then passed out business cards. We drove all over the place, marketing. Started off with one single business card to where we're actually pushing to do 2,200 this year. So we're working, man. This market is booming.
Absolutely. That's a pretty lofty goal.
It is, and it's been a blessing. I mean, we during this whole COVID thing, we've actually had to hire on another inspector because we're doing,
The real estate market is really booming right here in
Yeah.
San Antonio, for sure. The realtors are on fire right now.
I think it's the same way in Austin, right?
Same way in Austin. That's right.
Yeah. And we also work in Austin too. We have an inspector up there. So
Okay.
it's a great market.
Absolutely. That Austin San Antonio corridor is really just blown up. There's so much growth.
Yes, so much. And I'm waiting for them to build all that up. So it's just like one big city all the way through to north of Austin to south San Antonio.
Yep. I have a feeling that, my kids are going to ask me, "Hey, Dad, do you remember when San Antonio and Austin were separate?" I'll say, "Yeah."
I know
Sure.
they keep talking about it like it's going to happen next year. They've been talking about this for 20 years. So
That's right. Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's great to hear that your business is booming. You guys obviously have a lot going on. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe kind of running through, for someone who's not really familiar with real estate investing or kind of getting their feet wet in the industry,
investing.
what is a home inspection, and why are they important?
The home inspection is basically, I mean, my personal opinion is the home inspection is the most important part of the deal. Not to take away from the real estate agent by any means. I mean, I don't ever recommend anybody doing that kind of a purchase without a real estate agent. But they get you involved, but we've got to tell you, is it a good purchase? It's kind of what we do on a form because we're writing down everything that needs to be addressed, and it comes down to the knowledge of the people buying the home, what needs to be fixed, or uh, what's a deal killer. What they can't fix, what they can't afford to fix, and ultimately, I feel like that's the most important part of the home buying process, I guess. So it's it's gonna, I mean, it's really gonna lay out a lot of information, and the older the home, the more information obviously you're gonna get, but it's it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, definitely. We all know how important the inspections are. If you wouldn't mind, maybe kind of explaining kind of the process from maybe giving us an idea of when the inspection is done.
Well, the inspection is done. Well, I mean, the inspection between San Antonio and Austin, they're kind of done at different times because you guys have, from what I understand, 3 to 7 day mark or option periods. We have 5 to 10, 12 day option periods still down here in San
We
Antonio.
are doing a lot of extensions too.
Yeah.
We get it all the time.
But the time period that we're doing it is trying to get it right there at the beginning of the option period. luckily for us, we have 5 inspectors, 5 great inspectors. So it's kind of easier to grab a hold of us at the beginning of your option period. So you have time to do your, amendments, try to get those repairs that you want fixed, or if there's anything that we feel like there needs to be further look at, that gets fixed in the beginning of the option period, still to give you time to hopefully get a good amendment out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely crucial to have good people in your corner. Especially when the clock starts ticking, you want to make sure that you have good people around you who can you can tell you yes or no, right?
Right. And we've got great agents. Our agents down here, even the agents in Austin that we work with all the time, they're great. We don't ever have to worry about that factor of trying to get pushed through. We really don't have to act, that I hear about stories all the time. The agents telling you to take stuff off the inspection report or don't make it sound like it's a big deal. And we don't have that issue really down here. I don't know if it's how we talk to the clients, how we clarify everything while we're there with the clients. I don't know exactly what it is, but our agents are kick-ass agents. We love every one of them, and they all do a really good job. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you wouldn't mind, kind of explain a bit about, maybe the reporting you do. When you show up to a house, what's the first thing you look at?
Well, the first thing we look at, we drive up to the house. We're going to look at the house from afar. We're looking at the roof before we even pull up in front of the house. I think that's just the way it was trained. You're looking at the houses as you turn into the neighborhood. Did this area get hit by hail? Because you can see a lot of shingles missing, or you can see a lot of, that shiny roof. Everybody thinks that's a nice roof. It's not. And, we look at those things as we're pulling into the neighborhood. But obviously when we get there, it all depends on the inspector. But I pretty much think everybody kind of loads up in the beginning in the kitchen. That's where all the appliances are. The things have to function. It's a combination of everything that you're looking at is right there in the kitchen. So you got plumbing, electrical, you got flooring, you got walls, ceilings, everything is there, and then you spread out from there. When it comes to our reporting, we do report everything. I think we're a little bit more lenient on what we document as major and minor issues. We use a software called Spectora, and it lays out right at the beginning of the report software 3 boxes, or if there might be 2, but it's your maintenance items, which is blue, and it has a circle, and it has how many that we documented. And it has your recommendations, things that we think that need to be probably addressed prior to you taking ownership. And that has a number in it. And if there's any safety issues, that has a number in it. So as soon as you open up the inspection report, it's going to say, 12, 8, 1, and before you even scroll through the inspection report what you're looking at. And just depending on the size of the house, the age of the house is going to decipher how many go in each one of those boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably the most important thing though is the roof. That's the thing that everybody thinks a deal killer.
And the foundation.
Yeah, foundation. There's so many important things on inspection.
So everything else in between.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if y'all wouldn't mind maybe kind of running through, I know you kind of talked about that real slick roof is, it's definitely a no-go. You don't want to have that, although it may look pretty.
The shiny.
Or shiny roof.
Yeah, the one that looks like it's all shiny and everything. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's worth a lot of money. That just means that it needs to be replaced. But
Okay.
if you ever see a roof and it's really glistening, it's got to be replaced.
I did not know that. Okay. So with roofing, what other issues would kind of be a red flag for you?
A red flag as in just something that I would document, or something that y'all would need to know?
Either one. Just kind of when you're looking at a roof, what are you specifically looking at? And then what are maybe
Well, when it comes to the roof, I mean, we're looking at the overall appearance. Are we looking at shingles missing? We're looking at the flashing around the penetrations. We're looking at the ridge vent. We're looking at vents. We're looking at ventilation. I can't tell you how many new construction homes I've done here in San Antonio where you go up in the attic and there's not a single vent cut out. But then if you go up on the roof, they have the vent covers there. You know, they're not even venting the attic. And then, you know, these are new construction homes. So, you know, thank God they got an inspection done because that could have cost them, you know, tons of money on their electric bills. But we look at the hips, the eaves, the granule count. We do look for hail damage. You could have a perfectly nice roof and it's got dings and dents all over the roof. And then we look at, I mean, that's pretty much what we can actually see during the visual evaluation, but we're going to get a lot of information from just what I told you right there on how you should feel about the roof. We'll also look at the underside of the roof when we're in the attic. You know, are there any leaks coming through? Like I said, it could be a perfectly good roof, but you have all kinds of leaks that are showing up underneath, and maybe it's a nail hole or, you know, something that they didn't, you know, patch up or seal up. So the roof's huge.
I've also made them, all the inspectors, start using drones we take pictures of the roof with a drone.
Yeah.
Because this one had a little fall off a roof one time, and it's very dangerous. So if they can use drones, if it's like 2-story, definitely it's way more safe.
Oh no, sorry to hear that.
Oh, I'm fine now.
Okay, well that's good,
His
but
ego is not, but
Yeah, my pride was horrible that day.
yeah.
That's so funny because I was doing an inspection for a agent here, and it was just me and the agent. And it was a window that wasn't staying up. It was kind of slamming shut when you would open it, so the springs were no good on it. But she was upstairs with me, and I told her, I was like, just hold this window. I'm going to climb out the window because I can just get right up to the roof through that window. And yeah, I didn't come back in the window.
he came back through the front door.
Came back up the stairs, and she's still waiting
by the window.
I'm all bloody, cut up.
Oh,
I saved my tablet, but yeah, that was not a good day at all.
So little to say we purchased drones right after.
ouch, that's tough. Yeah, I think the drone's a better purchase, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
And we've been using those. Well, we've been using those longer than any San Antonio inspection company now. We've been using them for over 9 or 10 years now.
Really?
Yeah, they even had all kinds of, you know, news stories and stuff that we did because of the drones were kind of getting a bad rap, you know, at the time. And now I don't know any inspector that really doesn't have one accessible. So
Sure.
and it's pretty awesome.
I'm just kind of I'm just curious as well because I know drones are kind of relatively new, not only to home inspectors but to the market. I mean, what's the learning curve like with learning how to use it properly?
It's real easy. The more expensive one you buy, the easier it is to fly. So you buy a cheap one and it's not easy to fly. Buy an expensive one, you can do whatever you want.
It kind of flies it for itself. Kind of flies itself.
It's real easy. You can just fly it to where you want to land it, push a button, and it lands.
Wow, beautiful. I always used to laugh at my grandparents because they would say, "Aaron, you get what you pay for." But I guess they were right.
So true, right? So true nowadays.
Right?
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat that you're, you know, incorporating the drones because you know, there's so many people using them. I mean, you have home inspectors, you have agents, you have contractors, you have builders. So many different people using this.
Oh yeah. Especially during hailstorms, we get called all the time. Go hit neighborhoods. You know, I mean, insurance purposes, they'll have us fly these neighborhoods, and you can hit up 25 houses on one battery.
Huh.
You know, just cruise along, and that's all the insurance company needs. And next thing you know, they're all getting roofs instead of one at a time.
Absolutely. So just to kind of maybe rewind back on that,
Yeah.
when you're talking about, the hail comes in and you obviously have hail damage, what happens next? I mean, that goes on the report, and then what next?
So we're not allowed, I don't know if y'all knew this, but we're not allowed to write hail damage on an inspection report. So we have to document weather damage. I don't know why, but weather damage is what we put. But we'll basically write it up. And I mean, I don't always look at it as a negative because it's a lot cheaper to replace a roof through an insurance claim than it is through, paying out of pocket. So almost when I'm looking at a roof that's aged or something, I'm hoping that I'm going to find hail damage, because then the clients can get it replaced with a insurance claim, a deductible, which is a lot less, and the people buying the house are going to get at least a minimum of a 5-year warranty. So it works in the favor of both.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely makes makes a lot of sense. If you wouldn't mind maybe kind of laying out, not just agents but also investors, maybe some common misconceptions about home inspecting, right?
Misconceptions. Yeah, I had one. What was that? We had a listing agent that I don't understand why, but he completely refused to do anything that I put in my inspection report. And he left them with that option. He goes, you can buy it as is now, but the inspector the inspector is going to write a bunch of cosmetic stuff. They're not professionals, or not, they're not licensed in each individual field, so we're not going to take an inspection report and take any kind of consideration on the amendment with that, which absolutely makes no sense, because yes, I can see it as a new inspector, those first year and a half as an inspector, you may not know a lot. But when this is what we do every day for 10 years, CEs, building up our communication, the people that we surround ourselves, engineers, HVAC guys, there's no way that a inspector cannot know anything after 10 years or doing 10,000 inspections. So when they throw that out there, it just makes me laugh, because I'm like, I've probably been doing inspections longer than you've been a real estate agent, and you want to tell me that,
Yeah.
So, but we train, we educate ourselves, we train, we go to school. We're constantly working to better ourselves. So any kind of misconception on the inspector side, especially when it comes to one of the legitimate companies, it's asinine. But you did bring up the investor or the remodel, and stuff like that. That's what we're having a lot of problems with down here. We're having a lot of problems with quick turnarounds on these houses.
So what exactly is the issue? I mean, the turnaround is quick, but is it just
Yeah,
no?
it's a lack of quality. I mean, and I know some investors are really good at it, but I mean, they are legitimately hiding stuff. And we've come across where they're floating floors, putting down, wood floors over a floor that they just, leveled without fixing the foundation. And that's probably our biggest bitch. I can say bitch. I guess.
That's cool. No sweat. No sweat.
I get so angry when I talk about these, because it's I love people that take pride in their work. That's my biggest thing. Is it doesn't matter what you do. I don't care if you're selling cookies on the side of the street. Sell the best damn cookies. Have pride in your work. Well, these investors, they go in there and they half-ass cut corners, and everybody knows it. But then they go in there, or they go and they sell it for top dollar to a family that's probably buying a cheaper home because they can't afford a nice home. And they get stuck with all these, underlying issues that are going to show themselves quickly after they buy the house. And that's absolutely irritating to me. Those are people that I see that have dollar signs in their head and only dollar signs in their head. They don't have a care for the quality of work that they put out or what people think of them. So that's my rant. I won't do another one. I won't do another one. Unless we're talking about builders, but
If you watch some of his Facebook videos,
yeah,
he does some great ones. All the inspectors do, and the builders. We don't ever say any names or anything, but they have shown some of the most crazy things that they find, and they're just sometimes you can't believe like what people do.
yeah.
And they think that they're gonna see it and walk around and not put it in the report, but.
We had a buyer coming from California, and he was a cool guy, even though he was from California. He told me that the buyer or the builder said you don't need to get an inspection done, and I hear it all the time. So and these are from different people. So I mean, it's got to be kind of a common thing that builders say, hey, we'll take care of our inspection. You don't have to worry about anything, or don't waste your money. And that's the one where they didn't even have any roof and some, in the attic. And he had the nerve to, and I did a video saying, hey, this buyer didn't, they didn't want this buyer to get a home inspection. So we just saved this guy a ton of money. And he told me that was the last thing they do is cut the vents out. And I didn't understand. Like, you can't do that. Where are you going to cut? Are you just going to start cutting through shingles or what? So I went back to check the vents, and he blew up at me. And he's like, that's not true. I never said that. And he even posted on the video. We don't call out the builders. We never say who the builder is. But he commented on
He told on himself.
Yeah. I was like, why would you do that? So I actually deleted the post so nobody would see that. And then he confronted at me, and he was still bitching at me. And I'm like, I've got the buyer in mind. I'm not trying to push through 12 houses. So that's my other rant. Again, I won't do that again. I won't do it again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about that on Facebook. I'll have to check that out. But
Oh, yeah, we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I put your link in the description, maybe, you'll have some more friends and followers seeing them.
Oh, do it. Do it. We're always educating. We always want to teach people, at least our side of the things.
And I'm the one that answers the phones. I talk to the clients pretty much first before the inspection.
Yeah.
And they all say, oh, my builder told me I didn't need an inspection, but my agent that works with y'all said yes. Watch JJ's videos on the new builds, especially. We do phase inspections also.
Robert,
So
yeah.
pre-pour from the foundation, pre-drywall, and then the final walkthrough. And that is, we have so many clients that say thank you, for finding these things so that when I move in, my house is good for 5, 10, 15, however long they're going to live there.
We find nails going through plumbing PEX lines. We find nails going through the wiring that's in the walls. We see walls that aren't even complete. So
like
it's some walls that are like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's amazing the things that we can find if they did the inspection when they were supposed to. And it's, a lot of, and I still don't understand right now. I mean, as many videos as we put out and as much stuff as we find from a home inspection standpoint, there's still real estate agents that tell them to just wait and get the inspection done at the 1 year mark. And I don't understand.
Huh.
And some builders, I mean, I can see because, I mean, just like everybody, I have my favorite builders, but there's some of these regular builders that put out crap every day, and I can't believe that agents of all people are telling them, wait, don't. They're doing their own third party. Well, their third party is a one-page inspection.
And the education that we're putting out, the agents, especially the newer agents, they watch him on his videos, watch the other inspectors, do the education classes, and they're starting to see that now and listen to us, like say, hey, this is what we're finding. they really do need to get these inspections done.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if this video does any, anything, it's please get your inspections done before you move into a new building. Get an inspection done on all new homes before you move into it. And if you have the money, which is still not that expensive, have it done during the building process. We can get all the beer cans out of the,
The
grade
Corona.
beams for where the cement goes. I mean, you'd be surprised at stuff we see and how people would still say don't do it. But yeah, it's the end of the rant.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
What else can I talk about?
yeah, no, Heather, you touched on something interesting as well about those different phases. Kind of before pouring the foundation. Could y'all maybe expand a bit on those phases and what those sort of inspections would mean?
So the phase inspection is a three phases. The first phase is the pre-pour. So right before they're doing the foundation, they're making sure everything's correct. Then we do the pre-dry, or is there anything else? So
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the pre-drywall, before they put up the drywall, we're looking at all the connections, the plumbing, electrical, making sure every nail and everything, every board is secure. We've seen some where the plumbing wasn't even, they said it was done, they're about to do the drywall the next day, and the plumbing's not even connected to the downstairs. So we're like, where is this, this line going to be connected to? The upstairs toilet, where is it going? Stuff like that. And then, of course, the final walkthrough, making sure everything is up to par right before they move in.
I mean, we want to give them a great house. We want them to walk into a house and just say, we're happy about this experience. It's almost like we're trying to get the builders to have a good reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? It's like, we want them to love their Lennar, D.R. Horton, their Perry home. We're wanting them to love these homes. So the builder looks good, but the builder wants to fight with us all the time. It's like we're trying to give you a good reputation, man, and you want to fight me on that. I don't get
it. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. If anything, maybe they should play it a little more friendly, because you're trying to help them out.
Yeah, I think it's pride, and I think they get too busy.
Yep. Well, I mean, it seems like because those big production builders, I mean, they'll buy at Baker's, they'll replat it, have the lots, and they're kind of on the clock after that.
No, they got a timeline. It's amazing, and they shouldn't have the timeline. They should just do a good job and put it out. And I don't know. I don't know how they can be so scatterbrained. I mean, they got superintendents all over those properties. So I actually called. I was actually in Bulverde, and I was looking around. And I was looking. It was another event thing, and I'm walking around this corner house, and I'm looking, and I'm like, there's got to be vents on this roof somewhere. I hadn't even gotten up on the roof. I'm just walking around the outside, and these three guys, part of the builders there, they come walking around the corner, and they're like, "Can I help you with anything?" And I go, "Yeah, do y'all see any vents?" And they started looking around the house, and one of them was an older guy, shirt tucked in, just looked like he was a manager. Well, he was the vice president of the so as I'm walking to the backyard with the young guy, he's like, "God, I wish you wouldn't have said that." That makes us look so bad.
Yeah,
so
busted.
It happens all the time. All the time we see this stuff. So save that guy too. Lots of energy bills.
Yeah, no, I know you talked about that, probably earlier in the podcast, but could you kind of expand on the energy bill thing? You had mentioned how you couldn't cut through the shingles, obviously, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a process of putting a roof on. You put the vents on, then you lay the tar paper or the underlayment, Some people use tar paper, some people use underlayment, and then you put your shingles on from there. And these guys did the whole roof, and then actually they went and put down the vent covers on that house earlier, and then they shingled around them and did all that stuff, but they never cut the hole through. So they have to actually remove all of those shingles, pull that cover up, cut it, put it back down, seal around it, and then shingle back down the roof.
Huh.
See where I mean? It's like it doesn't make, or shingle back up the roof. It doesn't make any sense. Their excuse was, horrible, horrible. And I mean, even the homeowner who doesn't know anything about construction, that was stupid. So.
Huh. Wow. Yeah. I was trying to break down that thought process there, because I mean, an inspector is going to come through, the inspector is going to see it, and they're going to call you on it. So, why do the entire roof like that in the first place?
Because they don't look, they don't follow the process. They hire, people that are doing $20 a square, so they're not getting the quality, and I take a little bit of, I see where some of them are at. These builders, a lot of these builders, the GMs, the contractors, they're not allowed to get on the roof at all, or the people that are affiliated with the builder. Their feet cannot touch the roof. Mm-hmm. So I see how that can be a little bit of a problem. But at the same time, if you see somebody putting a roof on, it's real simple. Do you see wood, or do you see a tar paper before the shingles go up? Do you see a hole? If I knew that I had a roofer going out there putting vents in, and they were going to tar paper the roof or something like that, what is 2 minutes to go poke your head up in the attic and say, see daylight, good. But like I said, they get too caught up and too busy, because they got 12 other homes they have to attend to. So.
Yep, absolutely. So I know y'all kind of talked about, a few of the kind of misconceptions, a bit about those phases. In terms of what you're looking at in the inspections, what are kind of the differences between a new construction home that was just built and then, maybe an older home?
Basically deterioration. Time, I guess, would be the answer on that one. Codes change. I guess one of the big misconceptions would be everything lasts forever. And that's not so much the case. It's great that they have home inspections done, but real estate agents dread having a home inspection done on a home that's 30 years old or older. They dread it. I know y'all do. It's because there's going to be a list of things, unless that person goes, we just replaced the water heater, the furnace, we did all this stuff. You're going to dread it. But at the same time, when it comes to that, I think the biggest, those would be my things when it comes to the differences between new home and old home. I mean, new homes, I don't think they're built as quality as an old home. Old homes do sometimes need to be fixed, foundations need to be fixed, but I think structurally the integrity's there a lot better than the homes that they're throwing up now. I think it all falls down on education, and I think not so much on the clients. I think more so on the agents. I think the agents need to get more involved in the inspection report. When we have new agents, or we have or if we have a brokerage and they have a new agent, a lot of time they will tell us that they have a new agent and they want to send them out to the inspection. And we always recommend that, because until you know what we're looking at, you're not going to be able to do anything. Everything is going to look like the house is falling apart, just like if you were a buyer. So educating yourself with the inspector that you use is just so important. I mean, knowledge is everything.
And prior to the pandemic that we're going through right now, prior to that, we were actually doing a lot of classes educational classes, luncheons, happy hours, meeting with especially new agents,
Yep.
meeting with them and going over our reports. Or if we updated them or got a new software, even the older agents that we've had for a while, we've had to go over it with them, how to read them, what to expect, and then what to do with the amendments and how to go from there.
Yeah, our inspection reports are high tech. You can build your repair request right from our report, right from the software. You don't even have to copy paste and all that stuff anymore. You just click a box on everything you want fixed. It does it for you.
How about that?
But yeah, I mean, this whole pandemic has kind of put a damper on some of the things because we like to, we like to show you and we like to meet people. We like to educate. I mean, education is probably HHI's biggest thing. But for some reason, and I don't know, and maybe one day I'll learn, but I think agents get into a pattern of what they think is important and things that they talk to their client about. And I think that over time just kind of gets narrower and narrower, and they don't expand, or accept any kind of other learning, I guess you would say.
Nobody likes change.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean,
It's hard.
just like probably the most dangerous thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure inspectors have different things, but to me, probably the most dangerous thing in the entire home is your water heater. It's probably the most deadly and dangerous thing inside your home, especially if it's gas. But that is a bomb. And, water heats up, the molecules expand, and it's got to release that pressure, and it will at some point. But if that TPR valve, I don't know if you know what that is, but when we write that up, it's not a joke. If that thing doesn't work, that water heater is going to explode. And if you have never seen a water heater explode, you should see it. That's something you don't want on your conscience, and it's so easy to fix. But realtors do not put that in reports. They do not add that. AC systems, the Freon phase out, and they don't make Freon anymore. Real estate agents don't put that in their reports. They just have it serviced. They don't document the stuff that needs to be done on the receipt from there. Because most people here, I guess it'd be the same in Austin, is they depend on home warranties, for that first year. And the home warranty is not going to cover a Freon system unless it's documented properly. So that's what we spend a lot of our time educating people on is, hey, these things are really, really important. Nobody cares about the door out of square. That can be fixed from Home Depot with a bigger screw. That TPR valve, that's important. That needs to be on there.
Absolutely. So yeah, to kind of rewind back to that, could you explain, what the TPR valve is?
The TPR valve is your temperature pressure release valve, and that's on your water heater. Sometimes it's on the side, sometimes it's on the top. But if that temperature gets too high, and the pressure inside of there gets too pressurized, it's going to release pressure somehow. It's a bomb, like I said. So what it does is that TPR valve automatically trips and it goes to the outside of the house. Hopefully we would find out if it didn't on a, phase 2 inspection on a new build. But we would want to see if it goes to the outside of the house. Well, if that thing isn't functioning, kaboom. Sometimes it's an easy kaboom and it just shoots out the bottom of the water heater and floods your house. But, the other kaboom is that it shoots through the roof. And that's one of the big classes that we teach. We're actually getting a CE credit for a class. We teach 5 classes. And the whole reason that we teach the water heater class is pretty much because of that TPR valve. And people understanding the importance of that. We teach old panel boxes. We teach HVAC. We teach water heater. That's the only ones I can think of right now. Yeah, if y'all need classes up in Austin, let us know.
Yeah, yeah, of
Come up
course.
and do some CEs for you guys.
Sounds great. I'm always looking to put a good word in when I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, could you kind of maybe rewind back, to what Freon is and why it's important?
Freon's a gas that they used in AC systems for a really long time. And ever since the mid to early 90s, they've been phasing that out because it's just horrible for the ozone. So in the mid to early 90s, they decided that 2012 was going to be the day they stopped making uh, Freon systems. And in 2020, they were going to just completely do away with Freon, period. So most of the big AC companies started, making the Puron systems, which is the R410A systems. They started making those mid 2000s, so they didn't have to do the repairs on them. But there are still a bunch of them that are in homes, and so now that ACs are getting older and they're starting to break down, you can't find the Freon to actually fuel the system so that it cools properly. And if you can find it,
It's outrageously
yes,
expensive.
I mean, you could spend thousands of dollars just to recharge your system. So, home warranties, there are some home warranties that do cover that. And those home warranties require certain things on a receipt so that if the AC system does go out and it's an old Freon system, they will still cover it. But you've got to make sure that those things are documented on the receipt or it's not going to be covered. So it's just an old gas, and the new gas is more non-polluting. It's kind of like hairspray, I guess, from the 80s and 90s. So I have no hair now.
That makes sense. No, absolutely. It's you're talking about a lot of really important, intricate details that it kind of seems like a lot of people wouldn't know about. You need to show the receipt about Freon, being phased out. Why do more people not know this?
Inspectors? Well, I guess agents don't know it either.
Just a lack of education.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lack of education. As much as we want to educate people, because it betters everybody, I don't even care if you use us as your home inspection company, but if you could sit through one of our classes, I guarantee that you're going to walk out of there smarter and more eyes open about the stuff that you actually document in your repair request, because it all comes down to the care you have for your clients. That lasting impression you leave with them, because those are important safety, which is the key word here, issues. So I think, honestly, I think it falls in the same category as home inspectors. You do the bare minimum, you get your certs, and you can keep your license.
Fair enough.
When there's a whole lot more.
When you should be going above and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I always want to learn about every aspect of real estate. I do learn about every aspect of real estate, everything from VA, FHA, conventionals, USDA loans, what they require, the process that they go through, home warranties, repair requests, repair amendments, things like that. I learned every aspect of those because it's only going to help me and the agent make a better team for the client. So just the bare minimum of going and getting my CEs done so I can stay an inspector for 3 more years just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep. That
Also, I think our medical background helps that. We were both medical before we opened this business. Actually, I just started working for the company a month ago.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been involved with the company, but I was an RN, and I'm for 20 years.
She left the company to come work for us.
All right.
And I've met so many great agents. I love them. I love talking to them.
Yeah.
I love shopping with them and going, doing everything they like to do. So
I don't like that part.
But now I get to see who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the agents. I'm talking to the clients. I'm understanding what he's going through, because he knew what I did. I did dialysis for 20 years, so I could come home and talk to him but he didn't, I really didn't know the whole aspect of the company, and that's where I wanted to get.
That should get thrown in there.
I'm getting thrown in there, and I like it, but I'm using all the skills we had in the medical field. That's how we treat our clients, just like we treated our patients. So,
Sure.
sorry, I just had to throw that in because when he was talking, I was thinking, man, you know, we had to keep up our CEUs. We had to treat our clients, our doctors, you know, everything.
But you also want to be better.
Yeah.
It's going to make you a better
striving every
nurse.
day.
It's going to make you a better real estate agent. It's going to make you a better everything.
Yep. That's you know, that's kind of across the board for anything, like you just said, JJ. I mean, you know, you put in the bare minimum, you probably won't get much out, but you know, if you know, when you go above and beyond, you know, things can end up a little better.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything that y'all haven't said that you'd really just like to hammer home?
Just to make sure you look at our Facebook pages.
Yeah.
We have the HHI home inspection page. We're going to try to separate our home inspection side and grow our pest control side because we also have the pest and lawn care as well. We have some great pest and lawn care packages that we're trying to get rolling.
This is our commercial spot?
Yeah, is this our commercial spot?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's our commercial segment.
Our website is scheduleHHI.com.
Yeah.
They can call me Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Or we have an on-call as well. One of our inspectors, Justin, answers the phones in the evenings and on the weekends.
I mean, use this. If you don't use us as a home inspector, we're always there for education.
Yeah.
We're always there to talk you through stuff. I mean, we built this company based on educating clients, and now we're doing 5 of us. We're doing over 2,200 a year. So we have, you know, we've become that successful for a reason. You know, I don't know if it's because of education, because of reports we write, but we like to put it together as a bundle. So if, you know, if we're not in your area, you can still call us. Still, you know, still ask us questions.
Mhm.
We'll always be there to help you out. And if we happen to be up in your area doing a CE, make sure you come along.
Absolutely. I'll be there. Just let me know when.
Yeah.
Sure.
And always better yourself, man. Always better yourself.
Got to do it. But yeah, so we've got y'all on Facebook, right? HHI on Facebook. Do you have any other social media or any other way to get a hold of y'all?
You can find it all on scheduleHHI.com.
Okay.
You can find our Instagram, which we don't do a whole lot with Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. We don't do a whole lot of those.
But I'm going to start.
Yeah, but
I'm
now that
working
she's
with
here,
someone
we're
right
gonna
now
go
to
for
help
it.
with the marketing end of it.
So you'll see probably a lot more of us on that aspect.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I'd be happy to, you know, put that link in the description. Yeah, but that's, you know, I've really enjoyed having y'all come on. Like I said, you know, from the get-go, I was real excited to have y'all on, you know, basically talking about a lot of things that, you know, people need to be talking about more, a lot of the, you know, clearing up those misconceptions and, you know, above all, just giving people that education so they can make, you know, informed decisions.
Definitely.
Exactly what we're striving to do.
Absolutely. Well,
Thank
it's
you.
yeah, it's been great having y'all. And I really appreciate you coming out. I think people that are watching, you know, they got a lot out of that.
Hope so.
All right. Yes.
And if you need us, we're in Austin. So,
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Okay. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.